This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of
enough. You can get the Truefire All Access Pass for as cheap as they ever do it, the $99 thing. So just jump and do that if you're looking for the best price that you can get Truefire All Access for. Okay, I said that I would try to not play this for a month, and this is a good thing and a bad thing. In a way, I think it shows that I'm definitely still loving this guitar. I can't quit you. It meant I was weak mentally and was not able to not play it for a month. My favourite guitar, the K-Line Springfield, I've not played that for months on end when I was, you know, just playing the yellow guitar instead. So I think it shows that I am definitely enjoying the guitar, but yes. Anyway, I don't know, I picked it up and it just, everything about it feels great. This is the difficulty with the V-neck, like, is this something that if I played it sort of responsibly, that I wouldn't have a problem? And whilst I'm playing it, it just feels really right for me as a telly as I'm playing it. But I'm thinking, like, if I lengthen out the amount of time that I'm playing, will I start to feel something weird in my hand again? So I'm just having to be responsible with this, I think, is the thing. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had this sort of thing with a guitar before, where it's like you really want to play it. It's not buyer's remorse at all. Like, would I change anything about it? Not really. Even as I'm playing it, it's just like, well, that feels amazing to play. I've got over the fact that Jake's wouldn't have worked for me either, you know, based on it being a V-neck, even more aggressive than this, potentially. But it's just that if it's going to be my number one guitar, do I need something with a C-neck on it? Or is this something that if I slowly introduce it again, my hand can adjust to it over time? I don't know. I'm willing to try that though. I'm left with a fairly difficult sort of choice over, like, next steps, I guess you could say, because it's like, what do you do? Do you keep it as it is and kind of think, well, it's a guitar that I'm going to play for special occasions? Not really. That doesn't make too much sense for me, because it's like I wanted this to be the guitar that kind of accompanied me with my Strat, where it's like I've got my number one telly, my number one Strat, and therefore I don't really need hardly any other guitars. So if it does end up being the case that it's like V-necks in general don't work for me longer term, then that wouldn't really work. The other thing to think about is, could I just get a replacement neck of some form, and in which case then I'd have this neck not on the guitar, which would be kind of an interesting scenario. But, you know, I do really love the body. The next kind of option would be, like, do I just sell the Nacho and just say, look, I love this guitar, but I can't make it work, and then look out for a Nacho with a medium C neck? I mean, that's an option. These are some of the options, but I'm kind of thinking, like, it's a sign for me that I'm not able to just kind of forget about it and I do now really just love the pickups as well. I am sort of breaking my own rules. So what I think I'm going to have to do is to try and push this time a bit longer and just see, like, can I really confirm that this is not working for my left hand before I go on making more decisions or go on causing more issues potentially, which at the moment I don't feel like it's necessarily a proper injury or anything yet, do you know what I mean? But, you know, maybe I'm being naive with that, but it's just like, it was just a very mild feeling I had in my hand, which, you know, as soon as I stopped playing the V-neck, kind of went away. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe this is a guitar that could come out occasionally. You know, I'm not going to do sort of like massive amounts of practicing on it or anything like that, but I'm not content to just put it in its case and not play it anymore, if that makes sense. You know, not long term anyway. That doesn't seem to be a particularly sensible plan. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And have you ever had a guitar where it's like this sort of scenario where it's like something about it just maybe needs to change for you, but it's not actually the guitar at all? It's just that, yeah, there's this one thing about it that as much as you don't want it to change, maybe in some ways it has to. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. That's the kind of the thoughts for me that I'm having. It's like, do I look up like a neck? Do I look up another Nacho which comes up medium C? And maybe if one of those came up, that would be the obvious thing. We'll see what happens. Cheers for stopping by. So just by way of a little update here, I managed to go like another 4 or 5 days without picking it up. So it was in this case again. I had a gig where I used the K-line Pinecastle with my buddy Jake. And yes, and then Heath from 5 Watt World asked me, like, if you could only have 3 guitars, what would they be? Because he's making an upcoming video on that. So I had to get this out of the case again, even though for Heath he wanted me to use all K-lines in that video. So for him I did an intro using the K-line Springfield Blue, the K-line 59, so they're Les Paul, and also then the K-line Offset, because Jake has my Pinecaster. Yeah, I kind of wanted to make that video for myself. So yeah, I've got it out, and I've had some more chats with Blue and some more of you guys in the DMs and stuff, and Blue in particular kind of said that in other sports and stuff like that, you do work with having various grips, and he was kind of talking about maybe consider, like, instead of going all in at the deep end with the V-neck, whether it might not be a better idea to kind of have it sort of sprinkled into your play and not something that you either play all the time or not at all, but start to reintroduce it and sort of with shorter stints. And so I'm thinking that once I've definitely confirmed this, because my hand now at this point, maybe 2 weeks out, is really starting to return back to normal. I'm exercising more. I'm eating less. So what I'm thinking is that maybe the Nacho can be reintroduced as time goes on, because as I play it, it feels fantastic to play. I love it, and it's lightweight, resonant. It sounds like I want it to sound. It responds really well to sort of touch, and I can play delicately on it, or I can play a bit more aggressive on it. It's got this warmth to the neck pickup. It's just honestly one of my favourite guitars. So yeah, I just wanted to update that.